Good morning and good afternoon and good evening. I'm on the Amtrak from Portland, Oregon to Los Angeles, California, and I thought it would be interesting to interview some of the passengers. And I've run into a group of high school students, very enlightened high school students that are doing something really, really great that I think everybody would be interested in. We're up in the mountains now, very high. Where are we?
We're Chilmet, Oregon.
Chilmet,
Yeah.
Oregon, over 4,000 feet.
Yeah.
And it is still the 18th of January, about 7:20 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'll let you take it away. And your name again?
Alicia LaMagdalene.
Okay, Alicia.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell us what's happening here.
Yeah. So we're a group of high school students and teachers from Indianapolis, Indiana, and we are a class that's studying literature of the American landscape. So we did 2 weeks at school back where we are. In January, all of our students take one class for the whole month. So we did 2 weeks on campus reading authors, and we're now in our third week. We left on Sunday and took the Empire Builder from Chicago to Seattle. Spent a night in Seattle, got up today, got on the train. We get off in Emeryville and go into San Francisco tomorrow, spend the night, and then we take the California Zephyr from San Francisco back to Chicago. So it's 8 days, it's about 5,400 miles, and we read the literature while we look out the windows and experience it.
Outstanding. And this is, what's the name of the high school again?
It's University High School of Indiana, so we're just outside Indianapolis.
And this is a private high school, I guess?
High school, yeah.
Just fascinating. So this is like a field trip, a living field trip of geography.
Yeah, so we talked about the Badlands, we read some Native American poetry there, we read some stories about westward settlement. We're following some great travel narratives, Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie, Blue Highways by William Least Heat Moon, so we're doing excerpts from those. We read some Louise Erdrich in Minneapolis. We'll do some Ted Kooser poems in Nebraska, so just really studying poets and authors who wrote about parts of America.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're incorporating the geography with the poets and writers of the day
Yeah,
that talked about what you're seeing.
yeah, absolutely. So,
And you're, how many students made the trip?
so we have 22 students, and then myself and 2 other teachers.
Wow.
And this is the 4th time we've run the class. So we did our first one in January of 2014, and this is our first trip since the pandemic, doing it again.
I have a friend named Frank Paparella, and his son went to a private high school
Yeah.
near Princeton, New Jersey.
Okay.
And some of the things that they told me that they included in the
Yeah. Curriculum. Yeah.
curriculum were just like this, just outstanding.
Yeah.
It's not like General Douglas MacArthur High School on Levittown, Long Island. Unbelievable. And how many years have you been teaching over there?
This is my 19th year at this grade. So,
Wow.
It's been amazing. I mean, we have classes. We have a class staying in Indiana that's studying cake decorating. We have another one that's studying golf, and they went to Florida and are playing on 2 Pete Dye designed courses. It's a whole range. It's a really cool experience for our kids.
It's like the students start studying. Ultimately, by the time they reach college, they already know what field that they perhaps want to go into.
Yeah.
Because just how many students are enrolled in the school?
350.
And you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but it must be pretty pricey, huh?
It is. It's about $25,000, which is pretty pricey for Indianapolis.
Per 180 days.
Yeah. So it's pricey, but we give away $2 million in need-based financial aid every year. So we're pretty proud of being able to attract students from all walks of life.
So, and how many years is the high school? 7 to 12, is it? Or
9 through 12.
9 through 12. And wow, just fascinating. Yeah, I saw this group at the Union Station in Portland.
Yeah.
You got off the train and took a break, and you can't see much outside now, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to do some interviewing for my YouTube channel. So what's some of the most rewarding things about teaching that you enjoy? My sister Susie, rest her soul, was an educator as well. What do you find so rewarding?
For me, it's those moments where students make connections between what they're studying and the world that they live in, like actual connections. So that's what's great about this class, is we get to talk about things and read literature, but then actually see it and get a sense for the country. So, you know, we fell asleep on Monday night, right before we got into the Rockies and Glacier National Park. The sun went down, we were on the plains, and when we woke up yesterday, we were in the Cascade Mountains. And to watch and hear the kids like look up the window when the sun is rising and see how big and diverse our country is just amazing. It's amazing.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
No, I'm into it. I love the train, and I certainly love getting in my pickup and driving cross country and seeing Crazy Horse, and Custer's Last Stand, Yellowstone. What else? Just fascinating places. Wow. I'm trying to think of another pertinent question I could ask you. What's the highlight of the trip so far?
I don't know. They probably all vary. We had a fun time in Seattle. We took them on the tour of the underground, which talked about, you know, the Seattle fire and putting in the sewer and Skid Row and all of that stuff. So I think they had fun with that.
Right. Kind of the underbelly of society.
Yeah.
I was thinking today on the train, there's a lot of third world nations with homeless people.
Yeah.
But America is such a wealthy country that even the homeless have tents.
Yeah.
In most countries, they don't have tents.
Yeah. So
wonderful.
So awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just tell us once more from the beginning, the trip. You know, you started it, and then you know, because that's interesting as all heck.
So we took a bus from Indianapolis to Chicago. We took the Empire Builder train from Chicago to Seattle. We're on the Coast Starlight now, Seattle to San Francisco. And then we'll take the California Zephyr from San Francisco back to Chicago, and then bus back to Indianapolis.
Wow.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Fascinating. Do you think there's anybody that else wants to?
I have no idea. I will ask.
If they want to just, they can talk about themselves, you know, and what they think and anything that they might. But some people are kind of shy, so I understand if nobody wants to.
That's okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll double interview it. Hop over here and then we'll do class.
Wow, thank you, Alicia. Oh, that was great.
How are you?
Hello, guys. My name is Brian Holtzman. How are you?
Nice to meet you. My name's Liam.
Liam. Oh, my brother Bruce just had a grandson named Lehman, just like the that actor has your name.
Yeah, Liam Neeson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you see that movie when he was in the train? Mm-hmm. I was on a plane and then we landed, so I missed the end of it. But so what's your name?
Liam.
Liam?
Christian.
Christian.
Yes.
Wow, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So feel free to just, I've already found out about your journey and the trip and the high school and all that other stuff. So now I want to kind of focus on you two.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 17. I'm 18.
So let me hear what you think about anything that you want that's on pressing on your mind at this young age.
Sure.
Because this young age goes so quick.
Yeah.
And this is probably the happiest time of your lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all love this time in our lives, and as you get older, responsibility and all sorts of things come to part. So why don't you start off by telling myself and my viewers, what do you cherish and what do you love so much about this particular time of your life?
You want to go first? I'll go first. Yeah, sure. So
I think that as a senior, you're a junior.
Yeah.
But as a senior, there's a lot of this pressure of like going to college and applying and getting accepted to all these places. And like, if we pinpoint this time, like right now, we're sitting on this train in the West Coast with no cell service, which is crazy to an 18-year-old to not have cell service. It's like, I have not thought about that at all, and I think that at least this journey specifically has like brought a lot of calm upon me, and it has helped me sort of be ready for like more like opportunities and things that are going to come up in the future, because this is really something that, as I've been thinking about, we've been here what, like 4 days already?
Yeah.
But as I've been thinking about like sitting here and like doing this, like this is something that is so impossible for like so many other people, and like we're at such a cool stage in our life when we can just kind of leave and go.
So you're feeling grateful.
I'm feeling so grateful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You wanna go?
Yeah, sure. I think, especially at this point in your life, you have this unique opportunity to get to try a lot of things, because once you know, later on in your life, it's harder to change where you are. And so like, I'm at a point where I get to like, especially try different clubs. So, you know, I'm on the soccer team. I get the opportunity to, you know, both do robotics at my school and be in the musical, and like try and figure out what I want to do with my life. And like, the fact that we get to do something like this and like explore, you know, the rest of our country, especially for like, where do I want to end up, you know, in 20 years, in 10 years, like maybe I end up after college, you know, coming here after I see it, and to get to go and experience that is really, yeah, I'm really grateful.
And where is the high school located again? What state?
In Indiana.
Indiana.
Yeah.
So I like that you emphasize how grateful you both are. Evidently, both parents have good jobs.
Yeah. Good enough to send us on this trip.
There you go. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, this is. I went to a regular public high school, and some of the things that are offered to private schools are just amazing. Just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, both of us went to public middle school together.
We did the same middle school.
Yeah, so we went to elementary school and middle school together, and then Christian ended up finding out about this high school and ended up going there, and then I was like, well, I might as well go and check it out. And as soon as I shot, I was like, okay, I love this. This is great. And the fact it provides opportunities like you don't get to see at other places is one of the reasons I ended up wanting to go there so much.
Now, did the school cap the attendance on the trip to a certain amount, or is this as many people that wanted to go?
I think it was capped somewhere, but I also know that we had a couple spots left. There's so many J-terms right now. There's a group that's currently in San Francisco where we're headed, but there's a group that's in San Francisco right now doing a San Francisco J-term. There's a group that's
What's it called?
San Francisco. It's like history of San Francisco and all that stuff.
Yeah, so they're going all around the city and talking about like the evolution of
Fascinating.
it.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
Yeah, there's another group that's in New Hampshire right now, and they talked about like ice and mountain climbing.
Yeah, Everest.
Yeah, and they're like talking about like Mount Everest and all of that, and so they actually get to go mountain climbing in New Hampshire. There's another group that, they're going to like the Daytona, like 24 hours at Daytona, and they're going to go and watch the race there and talking about the history of auto racing and how that's evolved. Just a lot of like really unique opportunities. So
Yeah, a lot of people can't afford it, of course, but when you travel and you see other cultures,
Right.
it really opens your eyes that we're all really just one.
yeah,
And it's a shame some people, they don't see it.
I agree.
yeah.
Totally agree.
And have you picked any field of specialty that you want to go seek out when you graduate or after college?
So, I'm
What
an
are you
artist.
thinking about?
Yeah, I'm an artist. I do a lot of art. So, music and theater and stuff like that I love. I'm going to go to business school because that's safer. So,
You have to pay your parents back.
absolutely. So, and then if something happens, something happens. And if I do marketing and advertising, that's cool too because I enjoy that.
Yeah.
How about you, Lehman?
I'm really interested in political science and politics and government, and like how policy shapes our world, and like a lot of times I like look at a lot of the problems in our society, and I like to think about like what could we do to fix this, and so I really want to try and pursue something that would aim to like focus on that.
Wonderful. So I don't want to keep you too long, so I'll end with this. If you had a soapbox or a podium and you had an audience with the lawmakers of the country, or any country, I don't want to narrow it down too much for you, what would you tell them?
I think I would probably tell them that like we need to put we need to put people first, and it's important to focus on not just ourselves but on everyone in our society, especially the most vulnerable people like the homeless and the marginalized communities, and we need to make sure that they have the resources available to them to help prop them up so that we can all succeed, because it's not just about ourselves.
Whatever the cost.
Yes, because it's more important that we help people than
Isn't that what the Bible is all about?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Wonderful. How about you? And your name? I'm sorry.
Christian.
Christian. Go ahead. I have a nephew named Christian.
Yeah.
He has a long beard and a Corvette.
Oh, I'll take one of those.
Go ahead. What would you tell them?
I kind of want to build off what you were saying, to be totally honest. I just think that especially in like politics right now, there's a lot of like whether people should just be able to like live the way that they want to live or just live in general. And I think that we really need to just focus on the fact that like we are all one species and one race, and why aren't we letting certain people do what they want to do when it's not harming anyone else? And yet we are passing policies and saying things that are harmful to those people when we couldn't. If we went the other way, nobody would have any harm to them. And I think that we just need to focus on a world in which everyone can just live together. But
And,
we've been saying that for a long time.
an inclusive society as opposed to the opposite.
Yeah, we need to be able to look at our differences and respect those differences and understand that it's okay for us to be different than each one another, and that oftentimes like that diversity is important and it helps improve society. Like having these hard conversations with people that you may disagree with, that is the kind of thing that we need to focus on.
Wow. Dynamite. I want to thank both of you gentlemen for taking the time to speak with me and my viewers.
Absolutely.
And if you have any colleagues that want to jump in,
Yeah.
anyone else who wants to jump in, they can jump in.
We are starting class right now.
Oh, that's fine.
So you'll really through that.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Way to go. Way to go. Thank you. That was great. So that's it. Just a little snippet of some young people and their ideas, their aspirations for a world that they're going to grow up in. And I hope you enjoyed it.